Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all doing great, hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic, and that you're all having a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Another it's okay. It's not a crazy news day. You'll see there's like a lot of like, oh wow, like kind of news that's been popping up as of late. None of it bad at all. It's just like oh cool. Anywho, right. First up, North Carolina has become the latest U.S. state to propose legislation permitting the state treasurer to invest public funds into qualified digital assets. We heard yesterday about, oh gosh, was it Texas? No. Wyoming. See, I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, we had news yesterday as well. It's seemingly every day and or every other day we're getting news about a state who's on the road to try and begin accumulating crypto, Bitcoin, and or otherwise in some sort of way. And now North Carolina is also here as well. It is called the NC Digital Assets Investment Act, HB 92, introduced by North Carolina Speaker of the House Destin Hall, would diversify the state's investments by allowing the treasurer to include digital assets in its portfolio. However, one of the requirements is that the digital assets must be through an exchange-traded product, otherwise known as an ETP, sometimes seen as an ETF. Here's the actual thing for it right here. Additionally, they must have an average market cap of at least $750 billion US dollars over the previous 12 months, meaning at the moment this is only Bitcoin. And Bitcoin exchange traded products would be eligible. This is actually very interesting because it's known as a digital asset investment fund. Bitcoin is the only thing that matches this right now. However, if you've been paying attention to any of the news about multiple different altcoins, it leads to a very interesting question mark and discussion. For those of you who've been missing it in any sort of way, the ETFs currently for Bitcoin and for Ethereum are doing extremely well. There are days where there might be some level of outflows, but on any given week, it's usually a thumbs up, irrespective of how negative the news might be on that day about the market or about these coins or about those ETFs. A number of other coins look like they're about to also get ETFs as well within the United States. If things pan out correctly and these ETFs get launched and the bull market continues on its way up and away, we are going to see like a huge range and price movements and upward motion for a lot of these coins. We are currently waiting for multiple Litecoin ETFs. We just got news that Grayscale and the New York Stock Exchange have filed for a Cardano ETF and the multiple XRP ETFs as well. With the price predictions that we're currently getting, we would probably see some of these chains going over $750 billion in market cap. Potentially $1 trillion. And I'm holding that one back simply because of skepticism, not from myself, but from others. A lot of people in crypto over the years, and this is why a lot of times, if you've ever heard me say, I don't really care what your opinion is, it's not me trying to be rude or mean. It's that I've been here for so long We used to have, we had discussions years ago if Dogecoin could ever hit 1 cent, and people were like, Dogecoin is never going to a penny. Like it's mathematically impossible. Dogecoin goes to 10 cents and everyone's like, well, you know, it's not $1. It's never going to get there. Like it's this kind of thing over and over. We go from an $8 ether to a $100 ether. The idea of a $10,000 ether when it was at $100 is like, yeah, it's probably never going to get there. We eventually get to a $10,000 ether. The discussions then become a $100,000 ether, and people go, yeah, but that's really far away. So when you tell someone like $1 trillion, if you were here years ago, do you remember when people like the old analysts who we had back then were like, yeah, Bitcoin's probably going to hit $1 trillion market cap? And people were like, these people are insane. It can't go to that's more than some countries are worth. We get to $1 trillion market cap and people go, okay, fine. Well, you know, but like it just, Bitcoin can't hit $1 million. Like it's just not mathematically. And it's this kind of thing that happens over and over. If Bitcoin is going to be around for the next 115 years, if Bitcoin is going to $38 million per coin, it's safe to assume that some of the largest, most used altcoins are also going to move up heavily in price as well. Don't assume that Cardano or XRP are going to become the #1 coin, but understand that like $1 trillion market cap, when you have all this money flowing into the space constantly, seems believable. But you still have the skeptics out there. And however, I mean, is it really a bother if they only just buy Bitcoin? If Bitcoin's price goes up, the rest of the market will react positively as well. There is also a limit of 10% of any state funds balance at the time of investment. We just heard, what was the other state? We were just going over it. I don't remember. The one who announced it yesterday. Apparently, there are 2 bills put forth. One is for a maximum of 5% of the funds, and the other one has no limit. So you could literally, as a state, just go, okay, 100%, all the money into it. They said investing in digital assets like Bitcoin not only has the potential to generate positive yields for our state investment fund, but also positions North Carolina as a leader in the technological adoption and innovation. This was said by Hall, who co-sponsored the bill. Yeah, a lot of these things, as I said before, we got news at the beginning of this year that a lot of these things would be put forth and made into proposals. As of right now, once again, I guess this would be 14 and 15. These are states number 14 and 15. Not even a part of the original 22. So I guess we're at 24 states now who are putting forth proposals for this to actually become a thing. I don't have a real idea of how many are going to go through, but I would assume we're going to get at least 10 of them. It's not that I'm expecting nays per se, but it's more of a, to be realistic, if we have 5 states, that's also incredible. If we have 10 states, that's like, wow, oh my goodness. But also the United States is probably, as the actual country itself, is probably within the next couple of months, so we've heard, going to also start, or rather continue the proposal for the U.S. to also do this as well. So, yeah, that's the North Carolina has joined the queue to start buying some BTC. And yeah, let's move on. You know what? Sure, why not? I think a lot of countries are coming to terms with the fact that crypto is not only here to stay, but they have to make it relatively friendly within their borders or people will simply leave. I used to always joke years ago that if you don't have friendly crypto regulation, people won't just stay where they are having bad rules and laws. They'll literally just go someplace else. It's how the world works. We have trains, planes, automobiles. But Japan is back in the news. Japan and South Korea ruled and controlled the cryptocurrency market back in 2017 with gigantically high volumes of people and money rushing into the cryptocurrency space. And now Japan is figuring out that they need to do something because the money is literally flowing other places. Japan's Financial Services Agency, the FSA, is considering significant reforms to their crypto regulations, aiming to classify crypto assets as financial products akin to securities. This move seeks to enhance investor protection by mandating more comprehensive disclosure from companies. I heard someone suck their teeth or fold their arms. The word security isn't a negative thing. It became negative in the cryptocurrency space because Bitcoin maximalists realized that they could use that as propaganda to make people afraid of any other altcoin. That was the issue with XRP and all these. Remember like when the list came out from the SEC, for those of you who don't remember it. It was a bunch of coins that they claimed were securities. And then the Bitcoin maximalists, as they always tend to do, use this information to scare people. See, is this security? You should be afraid of it. Something that is securitized or is a security, typically, without Gary Gensler, has a lot of protections around it. You want things to, in essence, sometimes, I mean, not the individual coins themselves, but like actual crypto products, or the things that crypto exchanges are listing, or anything that they kind of, hey, you get 5% on this per year. You want those to actually be overlooked and be securities, because if something happens to those websites or to those products, you want to be guaranteed that you will get your money back, and you do that through regulation. See? It's not a bad thing at all. That's just what Japan is currently trying to do. According to Nikkei, the FSA has initiated closed-door meetings with experts to assess the adequacy of current virtual currency regulation. The agency plans to announce policy reforms in June of this year, with legislative amendments anticipated during the regular diet session, in 2026. A notable aspect of the proposed reforms is the potential reduction of the crypto tax rate from 55% to 20%, aligning it with the financial income tax rate. This adjustment aims to protect investors and revive the market. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, because they realized it all those years ago how much money that they could have made. The problem is that every country had such a weird knee-jerk reaction back in 2017, and the idea was like, ban it, get rid of it, it's scary. But now they're realizing, and this is the same exact thing that happened with Tether. Everyone was terrified of Tether years ago, for those of you who don't remember. And then all of a sudden, we were getting news that Tether was moving trillions with a T, trillions of dollars worth of value just through their chain. And from the fees of Tether, they were making billions of dollars. Haven't you found it weird that every country is now talking about no longer having a central bank digital currency, but now creating their own stable coin? That's also the nonsense I've been seeing in US news as well. I don't know who's caught on. There's like this weird fear mongering that they're going to ban central bank digital currencies within the US, but they're okay with stable coins. They're the exact same thing, right? If the United States creates a stable coin, it is a coin from... Anyway, the point is, it's usually just about control. And Japan is realizing that they controlled that's a D at the end, controlled the market years ago, and now they want that sweet, sweet money. Because you know what probably happened? Same exact thing like I said years ago. You implement a 55%. Are you crazy? 55% tax. I assume millionaires and billionaires don't even have those levels of taxes in Japan. And you put it onto into the brand new cryptocurrency market, and you think people will simply stay there? No, sir. So people left. I'm sure this is why they're having closed door discussions. How do we get this money to come back? You also don't do it with 20%. Realistically, around 10 to 12 is kind of the sweet spot that I think most people would not mind. But yeah, cool, awesome. Hope it works out for them, because South Korea is also going through their own little thing where they're trying to figure out proper crypto regulations. Cool. Anyway, awesome. That's the Japan news. Okie dokie. Let's move on. This might be one of the most interesting news stories that we've gotten in a while. The Highway Workers Union of the U.S. state of Wyoming has announced that they are exploring ways to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet. The Wyoming Highway Patrol Association, the WHPA, has launched an initiative dubbed, and I quote, apparently this is what they're calling it, Get Off Zero. The word get, and then off, and then zero. In partnership with the Proof of Workforce. Oh boy. It says, and I quote, the initiative, potentially becoming the first law enforcement association in the United States to hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet, end quote. Here's the tweet for it right here. It says, Justin, Wyoming Highway Patrol Association adopts Proof of Workforce Get Off Zero initiative. I can't imagine. You know English. You know there are other words that you could use. What does get off zero mean? Is that like a play on words for something in Wyoming? Like get off highway, get off road. No one knows what that means. Get off zero sounds crazy. Are they sitting on a car called Zero? Potentially becoming the first law enforcement association in the U.S. to hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Cool. We've seen other associations before in the United States announce that they were also going to be adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. It doesn't say if this is being used for retirement purposes, as we've seen many other times. Usually, we've heard from other pension funds or hedge funds or whatever the case might be for a certain group of people within the United States who's accumulating Bitcoin or cryptocurrency assets. They usually mention we're using it, as a way, if Bitcoin continues to rise for the next 40 years, basically everyone in this association will greatly benefit in this sort of way. This one just says get off zero. Is it that Bitcoin's not at zero, so it's going in the opposite direction, going higher in numbers? I'm asking a real question. Cool. So, no news on when this is going to happen. I would assume within the next couple of months. If this does end up going through, it will of course be news again, because that's how the news actually works. We'll see exactly how much Bitcoin they're buying and just how much the market also doesn't care, because all this stuff adds up, as I've been saying for a multitude of years by now. We are told to constantly pay attention to the inflows and the outflows of the ETFs, not realizing that this is not the first association to do this. There are hundreds within the United States who are already doing it in some form or capacity. So even if these people only accumulate, and I say only lightly, 10 Bitcoin, that's 10 Bitcoin essentially taken off the table for the next couple of decades. If they accumulate 100 Bitcoin, you get the generalized idea. More and more Bitcoin is constantly being taken off of the table, and very few people care to pay attention to it because they're only focused, wow, that's a lot of sun, on the prices. The sun just like broke through the window. Wow, okay. Anywho, yeah, that's the awesome. That's news. And yeah, let's move on. In logic news, crypto could be heading into a healthier market cycle as interest in meme coins begins to wane and attention begins to shift back to Bitcoin, Ether, and other layer 1 altcoins. This is according to on-chain analytical platform Santiment. Yay, finally. Is everyone done with the nonsense? Is everyone tired of being scammed? Is everyone tired of the rug pulls? Someone just said no, and that is a gosh darn shame. Meme coins, for some reason, over the course of the last couple of months, have destroyed a lot of momentum for the cryptocurrency space. A lot of money. So, historically, that would have gone into Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, you name it, flew into hundreds of dozens of meme coins during that same time. So remember a lot of times over the course of the last 4 months when you saw Doodoo coin and Papadop coin doing extremely well, and everyone was like, yeah, this is the new market. But you saw the old legacy coins not doing well. It's always a distraction. It's a way to get you to not pay attention to what really matters and what institutions are buying. But B, it works really well. If you have new people in the market, people who've been here for a couple of years, people who get impatient, because big money doesn't get impatient. It simply waits and knows that its time is going to come. Everyone else in the market loses their mind. They jump into these coins, they get scammed, and even crazier, they leave the market because they think that this is what crypto is. So a lot of times you'll hear, and this is from a personal vantage point, I've heard and I've seen people say that crypto is a scam. And then I have to tell them, I'm like, yes, it is. You have to understand that 99% of the market is literal garbage. It's not doing anything. But we have a small percentage of coins, between 20 to 25 coins, that are actually doing something. So what you constantly hear about on the news is that this collapsed, this broke, this isn't working. But you're not actually hearing about how well the other major coins are doing because they're not hypey enough. And this is why I love that the major coins are they no longer have a need to constantly try and show and dance for big investors. They simply are. People are building on top of them and great things are happening. So usually something happens every cycle as a way to flush people out of the market. And meme coins were it. So according to Santiment, it looks like things might begin to get better, because I still find it perplexing. Anyone who's been here for more than one cycle, if you got into any of that garbage, shame on thee. Because you knew it was garbage from the get-go. You knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. We've had news every single day about Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and you made sure to get Doodoo coin. It minds the boggles. Santiment's social sentiment tracker shows that top layer 1 blockchains such as Ether, Solana, even Toncoin, I mean, come on, Cardano are dominating 44% of discussions among specific coins, while the top 6 meme coins are only accounting for 4% of the discussion on social media. This is great. That number needs to go lower. There should be no discussion about meme coins. I've been saying that for years. I was not expecting that we'd have meme coin bonanza. I just always assumed that Dogecoin and maybe Shiba Inu would kind of be it. Nope, how wrong I was proven. But it's nice to see that other top coins that are being gobbled up by institutions and are also getting their own ETFs are finally being recognized once again. The shift in focus away could signify a more stable and sustainable market environment, because Bitcoin and Layer 1 networks represent the foundational infrastructure of the crypto space. Yeah. I'm not talking to all of you, but for those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about, stop it. It's kind of like, imagine having the money to buy a house, but you look up the hill and it's like one of those haunted mansions, and you're like, I kind of want to buy that. You walk in and the floorboards collapse, and you're like, it could happen to anyone. You see the ghost walking upstairs, like the walls are running red. And you're like, well, I mean, the house down the street was pretty and is more established and is renovated and is interested. Companies really want that house, but I'm going to go with this one. And it just doesn't, I'm not really getting why people do stuff like, especially like, I punched myself in the hand. I said this before, if you've been in this market for a while and you deviated, I really hope you're okay, because you knew from the get-go what the big coins were. We heard every single day that states and institutions were buying up Bitcoin, and you were like, I need some of that poo-poo. Like, I just really need that coin right now. We've been getting non-stop news about which coins are going to have ETFs. The meme coin discussions, every time I scrolled on Twitter, I was like, please, for the love of goodness. Santiment said, and I quote, increased focus on these assets usually reflects a more mature and informed approach by the community, which prioritizes security, innovation, and real-world adoption. Layer 1 blockchain supports smart contracts, decentralized applications, and network scalability, key drivers of long-term growth in the industry. And then they have a little chart. It looks like a fever dream. It's just a lot of like, I don't know what all these layers mean. It's just so many different colors and things like that. So fantastic. I hope this continues sincerely. I hope the market comes to its senses. I hope new people, as I stated before in another video, this was months ago, if you have people who are interested in crypto or thinking about getting into the market and you've been here for a while, help them. And I say this way. A lot of times people say they want help but don't want help. So you may have tried to help people before for whatever the situation might have been. If they didn't take your advice, then poo on them. The second part is that if you know people who are looking to get into an investment, looking to get into crypto, and you know about the market, help them. A lot of times people shy away and don't want to do this. I always help people once. People don't take my advice. Well, then, buddy boy, I can't help you. Prices go back up and they go, yeah, remember what you told me years ago? Yeah, I told you years ago. I'm not, I tried to help you as best I could. However, yeah. Let them know like what the real projects are. Don't lead them into meme coins. Don't lead them into garbage. Don't lead them into Tron. All these coins like no one cares about and no one's actually using. Let them know teach them or give them a framework. Let them learn what ETFs are, what securities are, what commodities are. Teach them and, put them on the right path of all these things and let them know the significance of crypto ETFs, of institutions buying, of the scarcity of these coins as well. Because we always get new people in the market, but they don't know what to do. They have no real direction. It also doesn't help that the majority of crypto YouTubers, or a large portion of crypto YouTubers, just talk about garbage all day. Every single day. This meme coin, this coin's going up by 400x, this coin is going to, you need to get on this quick. And it's like, okay, you're just actively scamming people now. You have no shame there. So yeah, cool. I hope this continues. I would love, realistically, I would love if the 20 to 25 coins once again nearly got all the money within the market, and we had a real more stable and realistic looking market. Having 30,000 coins makes us look crazy. It does nothing. These are all cash grabs. So, yeah, but I mean, big money also knows what's going on. So this is why they're accumulating those 7 coins over and over. I do sincerely hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all remembering to take care of yourselves, The world is in complete disarray. Make sure you're drinking enough water, go on a walk, call a friend, have a nice conversation, watch a movie that you loved when you were a kid. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.